Fixing Gamer here, and, well, I just gave up. And by that, I mean, I just can't build Neuvillette anymore. You wanna know why? Because there's literally only 1 day left until the new version update starts, and I have to start working on Arlencino now. So, yeah. So, I just have to get this video out of the way. So, yeah, I already did the Kaza showcase, so it's only right for me to do the Neuvillette showcase. So, yeah. Sorry that I can't build my Neuvillette to high expectations. So, what you see right now on the, when I, show the builds is basically what my Neuvillette is and is going to be for, like, probably the next month or so. Because I'm still going to be building Arlencino, and I'm probably going to be skipping version 4.7 banners because, well, I have to save for Natlin. Natlin is going to be the death of me. So, yeah. But, anyways, enough about me stalling. So, since there is only 1 day left for Neuvillette, I have to showcase him. So, let's just do it. So, this is the Neuvillette showcase. And let's start it off with my Neuvillette build. And here is my Neuvillette build. So, if you have seen my previous videos, which is just the Neuvillette Freeze team, you could probably already tell this has not changed. My Neuvillette has not changed ever since that video. The only thing that has changed is his talents. Yeah, his talent levels. So, yeah. But, anyways, enough about that. Here is my Neuvillette build. So, as you see here, above 30k HP. No EM though. Sadly can't get EM because I had to focus on crit rate, crit damage. So yeah. I have crit rate at 50%, basically close to that. Crit damage is 281, basically close to 300. And then we also have hydro damage as well, so he's able to do big damage, laser beam damage. So yeah. As for the weapon, I have Tome of Eternal Flow, which is his best weapon for sure. It is his signature weapon because it gives him charge attack damage. And he's famous for his charge attacks. So yeah, really good weapon. As for his free-to-play weapon, just basically give him anything that gives him crit rate, crit damage. So Solar Pearl, that gives you crit rate. Or you can run the Wet Sith, which gives you crit damage. Either way, they are pretty broken on Neuvillette. So yeah, basically, you could either go for the pay-to-play option, which is the Tome of Eternal Flow, or you can go for the free-to-play option, just give him like a Solar Pearl or something. But either way, he works really good. As for artifact set, I have Martree's Hunter, which is definitely his best set for sure. It gives him charge attack damage, and also when you decrease your HP, you also get crit rate bonus, a max of 3 stacks for 12%, which is really, really good. Besides, he decreases HP because of his mechanics anyway. When you do the charge attack, obviously you decrease HP, and of course it'll probably be the max of 3 stacks anyway, because he loses HP, I think, in a period of, what was it? Yeah, a period of 0.5 seconds. So yeah, you're basically gonna get the full effect of his artifact set anyway. So yeah, pretty good artifact set. As for constellations, I have him at C1. He is pretty good at C1. It is his best constellation for sure because it gives him interruption resistance, which means that you don't have to run Zhongli on your team anymore. Because, well, if you have him at C0, you have to run Zhongli so you don't get interrupted for your charge attacks, because your charge attack damage is your main damage dealing source. So if you get interrupted when you do a charge attack, there goes your damage. So yeah, it's pretty bad if you get interrupted. So C1 basically fixes that, meaning that you don't have to run Zhongli on your team anymore. So yeah, and also, with the cherry on top, it gives you 1 additional stack on this passive talent right here, basically increasing your charge attack damage. So yeah, it's a really, really good constellation. And also, all of his other constellations are good too. Literally, C6 Neuvillette is like the best character in the game. I'm not joking. Like, one of the best characters in the game. The only other contender probably for like the best C6 in the game, I think it's Nahida. Yeah, Nahida is also one of the characters where all of her constellations unlocked makes her the best character in the game. So yeah, there's a lot of contenders for that, but Neuvillette and Nahida, I think, are like neck and neck for like the best character in the game at C6. So yeah. And as for talents, I have 10, 6, 8. So yes, I did level this up to level 10. Finally! Because in the previous videos, I only have it at level 8. So yeah, I can finally showcase Neuvillette's charge attack damage for reals this time. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is enough about my Neuvillette build. It's time to showcase him in Spiral Abyss. So yes, he doesn't really have that much teams because he is a main DPS after all. And besides, he has certain synergies that he has to abide to because he is a HP character. And also, some teams don't really work well with them. So yeah, I can only show a handful of teams. And by a handful, I mean probably like 7 teams or 8 teams. So yeah, hope you guys forgive me on that. But anyways, enough about me rambling. It's time to actually move on to Spiral Abyss. So let's just get to it. So here we are at floor 12 Spiral Abyss. So yeah, you can probably already tell why I'm showcasing this on floor 12. Because Neuvillette does way too much damage in floor 11. He won't even get a chance to showcase him. So yeah, floor 12 is the way to go to showcase him. So yeah. But anyways, enough about that. As for the buff I'm going to be choosing, I'm going to be choosing a buff that basically doesn't benefit him whatsoever. So basically not the charge attack because we have to showcase him at raw stats. So the best thing that we could ever get is this, the Elemental Res. So yeah. So this is the first team I'm going to be showcasing here, which is the most common Neuvillette team you'll ever see, which is the Neuvillette Hypercarry team. Basically, this is his best team ever, his most premium team. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to showcase the power of Neuvillette. So we're going to be doing the basic, do a lot of hydro attacks to basically get into the swirl, and then we prep Neuvillette up to do mighty damage right here. So kablam, there we go, 50k on charge attack, as you see there. This is your most common Neuvillette damage right there. So yeah, this is the most powerful team, as you see there, because you get Kazuha with the Viridescent set. You get Farina for her buffs. You get Neuvillette, obviously, for the damage. And then Baishu's here for the heals and the shield. So yeah, look at this. Look at the damage. And you're able to get multiple charge attacks in because of Burst and E. So yeah, as you see there, 3. You see it? 3 charge attacks. 3 charge attacks. Yeah, he's so busted. He's actually busted. And you can sneak in a 4th one because your E would be on basically on no cooldown because, well, this cooldown will end. So yeah. Well, there you go. There is the Neuvillette Hypercarry team. Pretty busted, as you see there. I mean, it made quick work of that. I mean, there's like nothing. There's no other team that could do that. Besides, like, well, of course, heavily invested teams and also other teams like Hutao or Yelan C6 or something similar like that. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is your most commonly used Neuvillette team. So you might be wondering, what about if your Neuvillette is C0? Well, if your Neuvillette is C0, this is also another common team that people run if you have Neuvillette with basically no constellations. So let's just cut to that team. Alright, so here is another commonly used team. This is another variant of the Neuvillette Hypercarry team, except that you have Zhongli basically to protect you from charge attacks. But since I already have him at C1, it doesn't really matter to me that much. But this is basically just a glorified Taser team because, well, you could either use Yaimiko or you could use Fischl. But Fischl's the free-to-play option, so I would say use Fischl if you don't have Yaimiko or if you don't have the pre-mills to pull for Yaimiko. But definitely Yaimiko is probably your best bet for a premium Taser team. But other than that, basically this team is just way too good as well. I mean, you get Taser damage, which is Electro-Charged. You get the full power of Neuvillette, which is pretty good too. So you can either affect the swirl with Electro, as you see there. I think it's affected by Electro, right? Yeah. Or I think Hydro? It's Hydro or Electro? I think it's Hydro, yeah. But basically you affect either one of the elements with Anemo. And then you basically get increased damage for either of the two. So basically either Hydro or Electro. Basically it's just your basic team right here. I mean, look at that. Quick work right there. We're just gonna be doing one more charge attack right there to finish it off. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, there is another commonly used team right there. It's just use Zhongli, Yaemiko, or Fischl, and then Kazuha for the Swirl, and then you use Neuvillette for the main DPS. So yeah, pretty simple team, right? So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to the other Neuvillette teams that I have to showcase. Those are basically your two commonly used teams, so it's time to showcase the less commonly used teams, but they're still pretty good on Neuvillette because Neuvillette's just that good. He's a beast. So yeah, well, anyways, move on to the next team. So here is another Neuvillette team that is basically commonly used, I guess, which is just the Vaporize team. This is basically Neuvillette's best team before Farina came out, surprisingly. So yeah, well, a bit of a history lesson for you guys. So yeah, basically the same concept. You do either the elements, either Pyro or Hydro, and then you do as much damage as you can to deal big damage. You see there? Look at that. 70k! 70k on Vape damage, as you see there. It's really good. It's a really good team. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna be doing Kazuha. Ouch, that hurt. We're gonna be doing Bennett right here to save our butts from dying. We're gonna be doing this to gather them up. Alright. Affected by Pyro, and then let's do the charge attack damage. 70k! 70k! You see that, right? He's actually so good. Look at that. Look at that damage! And tell me he's not good. He's actually really busted, as you see there. Look at that. Kablam! Alright, let's finish off the other Fatui enemy. Right here. Kablam. There we go. So yeah, as you see there, it's an extremely good team. Vaporize still works on Neuvillette. Keep in mind though that Bennett does not affect Neuvillette's stats. It only affects Zhongling's stats. And because Zhongling has really high attack, she basically does a lot of damage with her Vape on her burst. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Bennett does not benefit Neuvillette. It only benefits him by healing. So yeah, because Neuvillette scales off of, well, HP. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the Vape team. It's time to move on to the next Neuvillette team. Alright, so here is another Neuvillette team. This is kind of more popular than his Vape team, and that is the Hyperbloom team. So, everyone already knows that Hyperbloom is probably one of the best teams ever made because of just how much damage it's able to do. So, well, since Hydro basically creates blooms, and then basically Raiden's attacks basically just give you Hyperbloom damage anyway, you can probably already see how much damage she's able to do. And besides, Raiden could work, as you see here, as a secondary DPS, just in case Neuvillette can't cut it. But I'm pretty sure Neuvillette can because, well, it's Neuvillette. So yeah. Anyways, let's reapply everything here. Let's get orbs on the field so that we're able to do some charge attacks. And see there, look at that damage. God tier damage. And besides, you're able to activate Hyperbloom, which is really good. Alright, let's do the cycle again. Let's do E, and then do charge attack. We should line these two up. Alright, let's do Q, and then do the same thing again. Alright. Alright, one more charge attack I think should do it. Right here. Oh, maybe not. Alright, let's finish it off with Raiden. Kablam! And there we go. There it is. So yeah, as you see there, pretty busted team. Hyperbloom is still one of the best teams ever made. So yeah, no surprises there. Neuvillette can work on a Hyperbloom team. So yeah. Well, it's time to move on to the next team. So let's just get to it. So here we have a Neuvillette Freeze team. So yes, there is no end to the constant Neuvillette teams that are pretty good. And this is also another pretty good one. Not as good as Hypercarry Neuvillette, but well, it's still pretty good regardless. I mean, you're gonna be seeing a ton of damage right here. Kablam! Let's take a picture. to put on our cringe comp. And then let's just do charge attacks right here. Yeah, as you see here, freeze is also pretty busted too because the opponents just can't do anything. They're frozen. And because they're frozen, they can't do crap. So yeah, it's a really, really good team. Let's do Kazuha. We gotta do a charge attack here or else the orbs will disappear. So yeah, forced to do that. Alright, let's do this. Let's do Kazuha E so we can stun these two. Let's take a picture, freeze them, or potential freeze. Alright, there we go. Do charge attacks right there. And let's restart the loop. Alright. Let's do some normal attacks so they get affected by freeze. And let's do it again. Big charge attack damage. Yeah, but as you see here, I mean, look at this. Pretty good damage overall. I mean, it is Neuvillette, so anything less is kind of weird. But yeah, look at that. Bam! Melted. Absolutely melted. So yeah, there is Neuvillette Freeze. Another good Neuvillette team. There's literally, as I said before, no end to good Neuvillette teams. So yeah. Well, anyway, speaking of Neuvillette teams, here's another good Neuvillette team that you probably haven't heard about. So let's just showcase that. Well, did you know that Neuvillette Mono Hydro is busted too? Because it is. So yeah, as you probably could tell, and probably if you have seen previous teams like this before, Mono Hydro is a really good team. Like, no joke, because you're able to get Hydro Swirls, and since there's a lot of characters that are affected by Hydro, and there's not many that resist it, it's a really good element to do a mono team with. So yeah, basically any mono team probably works well, but not as well as Hydro, because, well, you get Neuvillette, who is really good, you get Farina, who is really good, you get Kokomi, who is really good, and then, well, your Swirler could be anything. So basically, Kazuha is basically your main Swirler. But as you see there, look at that, even Kokomi is able to do damage. Look at that. Look at that Kokomi damage. So yeah, Mono Hydro, really, really good team, as you see there. Kablam. Finish it off. Boom. So yeah, there you go. Neuvillette Mono Hydro, busted as crap. Well, anyways, now it's time to showcase my final two teams, with the second to last being a soup team. So let's just showcase that. Alright, so here is a Neuvillette soup team that I whipped up. If you don't know what a soup team is, it's basically a mix of 4 elements. Mainly, your driver will be a Hydro character. I mean, not Hydro, I mean animal character. And then you mix it up with other elements. So basically, it could be Cryo, Pyro, Hydro, Electro. Basically, any element that could react with Swirl is your main source of the soup team. Because, well, you're mixing elements together. Get it? Because it's soup. So yeah, there's there's nothing really much to say for the soup team except mix as much elements as you could possibly can so you're able to do big damage on your opponents. So yeah, as you see there, look at this. Look, Overload, and we're gonna get Vaporize. So yeah, it's just basically a team that's able to do a ton of elemental reactions at once. It's just that type of team. So yeah. Alright. Let's do this again so they get staggered. There we go. I think Kazu's gonna get his Q back soon. There we go. Alright, let's reset the loop. There we go. And then we do the charge attack again. Do massive damage. So yeah, I see there, Vaporize damage, you get Overload, Electro-Charged. So yeah, that is what a soup team is basically comprised of. Basically just mix as much elements as you can, and then you're able to do big damage. So yeah. Alright, let's restart the loop again. Because you could actually, if you have high enough ER, and then you basically, especially with Raiden, you're able to reset the loop for bursts. And you're able to do massive damage. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, that is it for the soup team. Basically just run any any characters that can react with the Animo element, and you should be fine. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to showcase my final team before we go on to fighting bosses. So, we're going to be showcasing the final team, which is a free-to-play team, of course. So, here is my Neuvillette free-to-play team. Alright, so here is a Neuvillette free-to-play team, which is basically just an Electro team. So yeah, Electro-Charged to be specific. So, of course, since Neuvillette's going to be your main damage dealer, you're going to be switching out on party members a lot. And since Neuvillette can self-sustain himself because of his heals via his Hydro Orbs, he's just able to do all the damage while your characters can just take a backseat and basically, not take any damage because they're just going to be putting up all their stuff. So yeah. Alright, let's do another E right here. Kablam, there we go. Alright. Let's set up for burst. If you do have a Beto with constellations, you're able to get a lot of mileage out of it because you get an Electro Shield. And since you get an Electro Shield, you basically don't take damage. So yeah, if your Beto has good enough HP, you're able to basically have a mini Zhongli, I would say. And Neuvillette basically will not take any, well, he won't stagger if he does get hit. So he basically doesn't get interrupted. So yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, we're going to be doing another E right there, which staggers the opponent, and we could just do another charge attack right there. Yeah, as you see there, Electro-Charged free-to-play is pretty good, as you see there. Neuvillette just works on any team, basically. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the Spiral Abyss team showcases. So yes, it's time to showcase Neuvillette in boss battles. Since there is only one boss battle in Fontaine, at least as of I uploaded the well, not uploaded, but as I am recording this, which is basically just one day before 4.7, so Arlencino will basically not be out yet. I have to showcase him in anything other than Arlencino. So I'm gonna be having him fight Childe first because he fought Childe in the story. So let's just move on to the Childe domain. Alright, so here we are in the Childe domain. So since Neuvillette soloed Childe, it's only right for me to solo him in his domain, right? So yeah, I'm just trying to prove that Neuvillette can basically do any boss solo, I guess, except for maybe Aztaha, because you probably need a shield character for that. But Neuvillette is just way too broken for his own good, so I have to showcase that he is really good on solo teams. So yeah. Alright. Let's prep up right here. We're gonna be doing burst and ease. We're able to do basically big damage on Childe right here. Right there. I think that's basically most of his HP right there. Alright. Let's do E. And then basically do another charge attack right here. Look at that damage. Kablam! As you see there. So good. He's actually really busted. Alright. I'm gonna wait for him. Okay, he's just gonna be doing that attack. Alright. Alright, let's do a charge attack right here. Do some massive damage. Oh, he's doing 4. He usually does 3 attacks like that. There we go. Let's just avoid those. Let's do Q. Alright, let's do another charge attack. And we can do another one right here. Kablam! Do an E and then do another charge attack. Yeah, as you see there, I mean, Neuvillette, you already saw, he could prove his worth. He's that good. Alright, let's avoid these. Right. E, this should be the last thing to finish him off. Right here. Let's do like a couple normal attacks. There we go! That is solo Neuvillette, as you see there. Really good. He's really good, as you see there. He's able to self-sustain himself. He's able to do big damage despite not having a lot of characters on the field. So yeah, it is really, really good. So yeah, that is your Neuvillette power, your solo Neuvillette power. So yeah. Well, anyways, now it's time to move on to Fontaine, where we're gonna be fighting, well, the whale. So yeah, the Narwhal. Well, let's just cut to that. Alright, so here we are at the Narwhal domain. If you already fought this boss, then you probably already know what its mechanics are. It's pretty simple. But I'm gonna be showcasing a Neuvillette team right here. So I'm gonna be going for the Hypercarry team because, well, I have to destroy this as soon as possible. So yeah, well, here is your Hypercarry team, which is your most commonly used Hypercarry team with Furina, Kazuha, and Baiju. So yeah, let's just run this, and we're gonna see how broken Neuvillette is with his full comp. So yeah, let's just get this started. Alright, the All-Devouring Narwhal. Oh boy. So we're gonna be waiting a bit because we basically can't hit it at this state. We're gonna have to hit it, like, I think right here. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna be doing Furina E. So we're gonna be prepping ourselves for the Narwhal to come here. Alright, let's do our swirl damage and then do this. Squeeze in at least a bit of damage right there. There we go. Pretty good damage. Alright. Swirl. We're basically gonna make Furina's basically her E will just do all the damage for us. So yeah. Alright. Let's do E right here. Charge attack. There we go. Alright. I think we're able to do all our bursts here because once we defeat the second phase of the fight, which basically is the inner Narwhal, we're able to basically deal as much damage as we can. So yeah. There we go. 40k. Not bad. Alright. We're just going to be doing Furina normal attack here since it does a Numa reaction. Alright. Moving on to the second phase of the fight. So we're gonna be probably just gonna be destroying this phase like really easily. Now we're just gonna be prepping here for the reaction. Alright, kablam! Let's do a charge attack right here. Do big damage. Alright, let's do dodge and then do another charge attack. Yeah, as you see there, I mean, look at that. We don't even need to do its mechanics. It's already dead. It's dead. Alright. Alright, let's prep everything here. We're gonna be doing Kazuha Slash. We're gonna be doing every burst in the world right here. E, Q. Charge attack. There we go. There is the All-Devouring Narwhal defeated. Really, really broken, as you see there. Hypercarry is just way too good. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for the boss showcases. Now it's time to showcase Neuvillette with max damage output. So yes, this is the max damage showcase part of the showcase. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to move on to the best way to showcase damage, which is the Raiden domain. So let's just move on to the Raiden domain. Alright, so here we are at the Raiden domain. So this is going to be the team I'm going to be bringing right here, which is basically just the Neuvillette Hypercarry team, but instead of Baiju, I put Zhongling because, well, reactions do more damage. So yeah. Well, we have Neuvillette here, who is our main DPS. We have Furina here, who has the Splendor Tranquil Waters with the Golden Troop Artifact set with C2, so she's able to accelerate her fanfare. And plus, we're able to get max fanfare and max boost because Let the People Rejoice is at level 10. So yeah. We also have Kazuha here, who is going to be our main animal applicator, as you see here, with 500 EM with the Freedom Sworn, so he's able to do elemental reactions and basically increase that elemental reaction.
by a lot. Be Iridescent for the elemental res decrease with level 10 Kazuha Slash. So yeah. And then last but not least, for the member of our team is Zhongling. As you see here, we have 100 EM, so basically the bare minimum. We have the catch, which increases her burst. We have the Emblem of Severed Fate. We have C6, so she's able to increase pyro damage. And we're able to get level 11 on Pyronado. So yeah, that is basically our Pyro Applicator, Zhongling. She's just there to, well, react to Vaporize. So yeah. Well, anyways, I got everyone's burst prepped up. So let's just move on to this. I'm basically trying to get the Oko on Raiden before she's able to do her second phase. So yeah. So that is our goal here. Alright, let's just do Kazuha Slash. Okay, yeah, she's in the burst now. Alright, let's do E, let's do Q, and now let's do Charge Attack. And we're able to get that amount of damage. Yeah, as you see there, look at that. 80k on Charge Attack. If you didn't see that there, 80k. Yeah, that is our max damage output for charge attacks. So yeah, really, really good. Yeah, there we go. Raiden is easily defeated. You saw the max damage output on our charge attacks. So yeah, I would say that is a pretty good damage showcase. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is enough of all the showcases. Now it's time to move on to my overview and final thoughts on Neuvillette. So let's just get on with it. So here is Neuvillette, the Chief Justice of Fontaine, aka the guy who runs the Oratrice Mécanique de l'Anis Cardinal. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's time to basically look at his talents and constellations and give my overview and final thoughts on Neuvillette. So yeah, well, anyways, without any further ado, let's just go over his kit. So, his normal attack, as Water Seeks Equilibrium, which basically just does 3 attacks, the 3 normal attacks. You're never going to be doing this, by the way. You're going to be doing his charge attack, which is Legal Evaluation, or Empowerment Legal Evaluation, where he's able to absorb source water droplets, aka the water orbs he's able to drop via his E and his Q. When you do that, you're able to basically increase the acceleration of your charge attack. Yeah, if you guys don't know, you could literally do his charge attack without absorbing orbs. So yeah, if you don't absorb orbs, it takes a really, and I mean a really, really long time to get his charge attack up. So it's highly recommended to just get the orbs instead to just speed up his charge attack. So yeah, but if you do his charge attack, you're able to do AoE hydro damage on your charge attack, basically a laser beam, and it just does way too much damage. So yeah, and also you don't consume stamina when you charge attack, which is really, really good. So yeah, it's really broken, absolutely broken. And also he's able to recover HP when he does his charge attacks. So yeah, keep that in mind if you are going to be doing his charge attacks. He decreases his HP, but if you collect source water, you're able to gain HP back to do more charge attacks. So yeah, that's basically his main bread and butter, is his charge attacks. His E, Oh Tears I Shall Repay, does AoE hydro damage, which is a basic E, but it gives you 3 source water droplets, which is enough to give you your your charge attacks. So yeah, keep that in mind. 3 source water droplets equals 1 charge attack. So if you're able to do E, you're basically able to do 1 charge attack. So yeah, 1 charge attack for free, basically. So yeah, it's just your basic E, which basically gives you source water droplets. You're gonna be spamming this a lot. And as for his burst, Oh Tides I Have Returned, gives you a lot of source water droplets and also does AoE hydro damage, which is really good. It's also one of his secondary damage dealing moves besides his E. His burst actually does pretty decent damage, as you see there. Look at that. But you're mainly going to be using his burst to get source water droplets, which give you 6, by the way. 6 source water droplets. So you're able to do 9 charge attacks. So basically, if you combo his E and then his Q, you're able to do
big damage. Absolutely huge damage with his EQ. And also, if you do E, and then you basically do everyone else's burst, and then you do Q, and then you do E again, you're basically able to do 4 charge attacks. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's really busted. Super busted. You can probably see why Neuvillette is probably like one of the best main DPSs in the entire game. So yeah. His passive talent, Heir to the Ancient Sea's Authority, basically gives him a lot of charge attack damage. So basically, when you trigger a Frozen, Electro-Charged, Bloom, Hydro Swirl, or a Hydro Crystallized reaction, you're able to get 1 stack of Draconic Glories. Well, basically, it just lasts for 30 seconds. And you're able to get a max of 3 stacks. Basically, trigger any of these reactions and you're just good. You're good to go. And the more stacks you have, the bigger your charge attack becomes. So basically 110, 125, 160. By the way, it gets boosted by constellations. Remember when I said C1 basically boosts Heir to the Ancient Sea's Authority? Ignore the 110. You basically get 125. So yeah, when you do this passive talent, it's extremely busted. And since you're going to be running a lot of characters who's able to do elemental reactions on Neuvillette teams, this will proc a lot. So yeah, it's really busted. And by the way, it lasts for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It's busted. Absolutely busted. Next up is his other passive talent, Discipline of the Supreme Aberration. Arbitration, my bad. Basically, for each HP point that Neuvillette has for 1% of 30% of his max HP, he'll gain a 0.6 hydro damage bonus with a maximum of 30%. So basically, give him a lot of HP and he destroys everything. So yeah, it's super good. It's super good. It's really good. So yeah, definitely invest a lot of HP on this, so you're able to do a lot of hydro damage. And yeah, that's basically it for his talents. It's time to move on to his constellations. You think his talents are broken? His constellations are even more broken. I already talked about C1, but I'm going to be talking about it again anyway because it's just that good. So, his C1, Venerable Institution. So basically, you're gaining 1 additional stack by the way, for Draconic Glories, basically giving you, as I said before, the 125 for free. So yeah, really good. And also, you're able to get interruption resistance on charge attacks. So basically, when an opponent hits you, you don't get interrupted, which sucks, because if you get hit when you're at C0, you get interrupted on your charge attacks, meaning that he sucks. But at C1, he doesn't get interrupted, meaning that you're able to do charge attacks all day, every day. So yeah. For a C2, Juridical Exoration, basically, if you have the passive talent Heir to the Ancient Sea's Authority, you're basically enhancing your crit damage of your charge attacks by 14%. Yeah, and it could be a max of 42%. Basically, you're able to do more crit damage. You think his damage isn't good enough? Well, this constellation boosts it even further. So yeah, it's really busted. And also, it's dependent on stacks. Remember, you're keeping your constellation. So basically, you get 1 stack of this already, meaning that you basically have 2 stacks of crit damage. Yeah, really busted. You basically get 28% crit damage for free, by the way. And plus, all you have to do is do a reaction every 0.5 seconds. You're basically going to get the 42% anyway. It's that busted. So yeah. And next up, we have Ancient Postulation, which is his level 3 constellation, which basically increases his normal attack by 3 levels. Yeah, you can see why he has like some of the most broken constellations out there. I mean, look at that. He's able to increase his normal attack damage. It's already good enough. It's just increasing even further. So yeah, broken. Next up is Crown of Commiseration, which is his 4th constellation, which basically, if you have source water droplets, and if you are healed by source water droplets, basically you get regenerated. It's that broken. Absolutely broken. He's able to solo because of this, because he's able to heal a lot. He's able to heal a lot. And you get one more source water droplet too. It's broken. It's absolutely broken. He's basically getting refunded. So basically, you consume 3 water droplets, you get 1 back. You get 1 back. It's busted. Absolutely busted. Super busted. And remember, you could chain these. E to Q. Basically, you're able to get 4 charge attacks without even having to use a second E. Think about that. Think about that. It's busted. And next up is Axiomatic Judgment, which basically is his level 5 constellation, which increases Otai's I have returned by 3 levels, which is his burst. Again, his burst does decent damage. It's able to do a ton. Just keep that in mind. And C6. C6. I don't know who in the right mind thought that this was okay, but C6 Neuvillette might be the most broken thing I have ever seen in the entire universe of Genshin Impact. It's that broken. Super broken. So basically, well, I'm just gonna read you the full effect. I'm not gonna be summarizing this. You have to read it for yourself to basically understand the amount of power Neuvillette has. So I'm gonna be reading it right here. Wrathful Recompense, Constellation level 6. When using charge attack, Equitable Judgment, Neuvillette can absorb nearby source water droplets in an AoE. Each absorbed droplet will increase the duration of the charge attack, Equitable Judgment, by 1 second. Additionally, Equitable Judgment hits opponents. It will fire off 2 additional currents every 2 seconds, each of which will deal 10% of Neuvillette's max HP as hydro damage. Damage dealt this way will count as damage dealt by Equitable Judgment. You read that, right? He's able to fire 2 additional beams. He's able to basically absorb all the droplets in an AoE, meaning that you don't have to run around all over the place to absorb droplets. And you get hydro damage on max HP. And guess what Neuvillette scales off of? HP. So yeah, it's busted. On top of everything he gets on his constellations, this right here is absolutely insane. 2 additional currents. 2 additional currents. He's able to do big damage, absolutely massive damage because of this. And it's the reason why he's able to solo. It's just that good. He's just way too good. Neuvillette, busted. As for my final verdict, my final conclusion, he's literally the best DPS in the entire game. There's no other DPS out there. He's just that good. He's just way too good. I mean, is there really nothing for me to... Is there really more for you to say? He's just broken. I mean, you saw it there. His talents, his constellations, the way I showcase him. Like, he doesn't need help. He's just that good. He's just way too good. Neuvillette, best hydro damage dealer in the entire game. If not, the best damage dealer ever. The best DPS in the entire game. So, yeah. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that showcase video. If you do, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to this channel. Again, any amount of support is greatly appreciated. Liking the video, subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me, so if you really want to support me, make sure to leave a like if you do enjoy this video, and also subscribe. Any amount of support, again, is greatly appreciated. It fuels me. It fuels my passion. It fuels basically everything, my drive to make more videos on YouTube. Because I love Genshin and I want to showcase my Genshin love. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And also, if you want, you can comment down below. What do you think of Neuvillette? You think he's broken? You think he's busted as crap? You think he is not as broken? You think I'm over-exaggerating? You think that there's probably going to be another best DPS in the game that isn't Neuvillette? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Genshin video, this Genshin showcase video, and I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.